I'm Mort Todd, illustrator, editor, publisher, and purveyor of MortTodd.com. Before I was a comics professional, I was naturally a comics fan, and every now and then I like to look back at legendary creators and their characters. Today, on what would be artist Lee Elias' 100th birthday, we look back at his life and some of his work, most notably the Black Cat and horror comics he did for the publisher Harvey. Lee Elias was born May 21st, 1920 in England. His family moved to the United States when he was 6 years old, and he studied art at Cooper Union and the Art Students League in New York City. He was musically inclined and won a scholarship and considered becoming a concert violinist. By 1943, he was drawing comics for Fiction House, and then went on to work at other publishers, like Timely Comics before they became Marvel, and DC Comics. Perhaps his most loved work was at Harvey Comics, where he drew the Hollywood superheroine, the Black Cat, and later their gruesome horror comics of the 1950s. Black Cat had premiered in 1941, and artists working on the strip included Joe Kubert and Bob Powell. The character was a Hollywood stuntwoman turned actress, Linda Turner, who disguised herself as the mysterious Black Cat to solve crimes, thwart spies, and other threats to Tinseltown. Lee Elias took over the drawing of the feature in 1946. His talent for caricature led to many cameos by real Hollywood stars from the era. His style was influenced by Milt Caniff, who he had worked for as an assistant, and Lee also drew the Terry and the Pirates comic book for Harvey. Black Cat title went through changes over the years that reflected the comic book audience tastes. Originally a straight superhero adventure series, the book transitioned into Western themes and became Black Cat Western in 1949. After a few issues, she went back to her superhero roots until horror comics became the rage, and it became Black Cat Mystery. The titular crime fighter was soon squeezed out of her own book, and the contents became quite lurid. With the advent of the Comics Code, she returned again in stories labeled Black Cat Western. Then again became a mystery book, Black Cat Mystic, with tamer tales in the earlier horror era. Going with the flow, Lee Elias began contributing intense covers and art for Harvey's horror comics line, as well as doing art for war and romance books. Feeling the heat from the comic book censors, Lee went into the comic strip market, assisting Al Cap on Little Abner until he got his own strip called Beyond Mars. He returned to comic books in 1959, where he drew features for DC Comics like Green Arrow, Adam Strange, and for their mystery comics. Much later at Marvel, Lee drew Power Man and the Human Fly. His last series was Chronos, which he wrote and drew for The Rook from Warren Publishing, until finally retiring in 1982. After that, he began teaching at the School of Visual Arts and at the Kubert School. Lee Elias suffered a stroke in 1987 and passed away in 1988, but he left an incredible legacy of heroines and horror for current and future generations to hold in awe. I can't let this look at Elias and the Black Cat go without mentioning a recent release our company did with artist Stephen Butler. He did a 2-volume pinup book called Warrior Women of the Golden Age. It features all new pinups of some unforgettable, some forgettable superheroines of the Golden Age of comics, including, naturally, the Black Cat. These books showcase Stephen Butler's new work, plus info on the characters, including sample vintage art from the 1940s. There's also a 2020 calendar that features creators' birthdays, and even if it isn't 2020 anymore, Stephen Butler's awesome art will still thrill, no matter the year. You can find these books at www.morttodd.com. Please like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel to keep appraised of future videos and future comic book releases. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.